In the annals of military history, few feats rivaled the sheer audacity of what happened in 218 BC. This is the story of Hannibal Barca and his impossible journey across the Alps. Fresh from outmaneuvering Roman scouts after crossing the mighty Rhine River, Hannibal turned his gaze eastward. Ahead lay not just a mountain range, but a barrier considered impassable for an army. The snow-covered, treacherous peaks of the Alps. His objective? To bring the war to Rome's doorstep. Where they least expected it, the scale of his force was immense. Imagine it. 50,000 infantry, 9,000 cavalry, and a train of thousands of pack animals. But the real showstoppers were the 37 war elephants, living, breathing siege engines that were the tanks of the ancient world. This multinational army, a mix of Iberians, Gauls, and North Africans, now faced a challenge that would test the limits of human and animal endurance. They weren't just marching against Rome. They were marching against nature itself. Ahead lay razor-sharp cliffs, biting, freezing winds, and the constant threats of ambush and starvation. As they pushed deeper into the mountain passes, the terrain became their enemy. The local Gallic tribes, seeing this vulnerable column snaking through their territory, saw an opportunity. From the high cliffs, they rained down boulders and launched surprise attacks, creating chaos and sending men and animals plummeting to their deaths. But Hannibal was more than just a strategist. He was a brilliant field commander. He countered these ambushes with lightning-fast cavalry strikes to secure the high ground. He ordered his men to march in tight, disciplined formations, protecting the vulnerable baggage train and the precious elephants at the core of his column. At night, he established fortified camps, turning every halt into a defensive stronghold. He was fighting a war on two fronts, one against the hostile tribes and another against the brutal environment. After days of grueling climbing, they reached one of the highest peaks. His soldiers were a shadow of the force that had started the journey. They were exhausted, frostbitten, and demoralized, their spirits as low as the temperatures. It was here, at this critical moment, that Hannibal's leadership truly shone. He gathered his weary men, and pointing south through a break in the clouds, he showed them a glimpse of their destination, the lush, rolling plains of Italy. His voice boomed with unshakable confidence, cutting through the thin mountain air. My soldiers, you are now climbing the walls, not only of Italy, but of Rome itself. Rome lies beneath us. Victory waits on the other side. In that moment, he didn't just give them a command. He gave them a vision, reigniting the fire in their hearts. Just when they thought the worst was over, the descent proved to be even deadlier than the climb. The autumn snows had begun, and the southern-facing slopes were coated in a thick, treacherous layer of ice. The narrow paths, already perilous, became death traps. A massive rock slide completely blocked their route, a solid wall of stone and ice standing between them and Italy. Panic began to set in. Turning back was not an option. Here, Hannibal improvised with genius. He ordered his men to build a massive bonfire right up against the rock face. Once the stone was heated to an incredible temperature, he had them douse it with a surprising liquid, vinegar. The sudden temperature shock caused the rock to crack and splinter. For days, his engineers and soldiers worked relentlessly, using fire and acid to literally shatter the mountainside, carving a new path wide enough for the entire army, including the colossal elephants, to pass. After 15 nightmarish days in the mountains, Hannibal's army finally emerged into the plains of Italy, but the cost was staggering. He had lost almost half of his army. Only about 26,000 soldiers remained. The brutal conditions had claimed most of the horses, and nearly all the war elephants. He had arrived in enemy territory, battered and bruised, but he had achieved the impossible. He was in Italy, and Rome was completely unprepared. This legendary crossing wasn't the end. It was the beginning. It set the stage for a series of stunning victories that would echo through eternity. His triumphs at the Ticinus River, the Trebia, Lake Trasimene, and culminating in his tactical masterpiece, the Battle of Cannae, all began with that single, audacious decision to cross the Alps. Hannibal had proven that with unwavering will, even mountains could be moved. Thanks for watching. If you found the story of ancient strategy and endurance fascinating, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more epitaphes from history.